I love Bigfoot movies. I absolutely adore Bigfoot films. I love all cryptid movies. I really do. And I decided, just for the fuck of it, just for the hell of it, I'm gonna do my top 10 favorite Bigfoot movies. Now, again, this is just my personal top 10 list. If you think a movie should be higher or lower on the list or not at all on the list, that's totally fine. I'm always excited to hear your opinions on. I'm always excited to hear what you rank on. What are your favorite Bigfoot movies? Because there's a lot of them, and admittedly, there's a lot of garbage in that pile, right? Like, we can all agree there's some garbage in that pile, but fun garbage. Some of it really bad garbage. But there's some gold in them Nar Hills, and we'll get to them. One of which will be weird for me. It'll be a weird explanation, but I will swear I'll try to make it make sense. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started with my top 10 favorite Bigfoot movies, starting off at number 10, Sasquatch. Sasquatch is a 1976 docudrama series that focuses on a group of people traveling deep into the forests of, I believe, Northern California, in search of a Bigfoot. And while throughout the story, we get basically interpretations of Bigfoot encounters at the time. Like, that's kind of what it is. My dad once told me that this movie scared him as a child, and I watched it when he told me, he was like, "Oh, that movie scared me as a kid. I don't want to," he's like, "Yeah, that movie scared me as a kid." And I watched it and I went, "So was my dad a bitch when he was a kid, or what?" Yeah, that movie's not scary. I will admit there are some good moments, like when they talk about again, these are all like quote-unquote historical encounters and dramatizations of quote-unquote recorded historical encounters with Bigfoot. Always I gotta put an air quote when you come to Bigfoot. Like the Battle of Ape Canyon, that was a thing. I thought that was really good. The movie does kind of have like this uneven thing of horror and terror and unintentional comedy, but it's kind of fun. Like, it's definitely like you're in the mood for it. So there you go. Next up, at number 9, we have Savage. Savage is a movie about is kind of something that is the plot is kind of brilliant, where we follow during the one of the many California fires, these group of a series of different people encounter trying to escape the blaze, but also Bigfoot, who has been driven out of his home. What I like about this movie is that while it's not good, and I do think the Bigfoot suit is kind of small, but it actually does have a purpose with this version of Bigfoot. Reason being is that they do something with Bigfoot as a creature you would think people would have more thought in that it's a smaller Bigfoot, but he's more arboreal. Like, he's able to climb through trees. He's able to scurry up buildings and stuff like that. It's actually kind of genius, because I'm like, that would actually make a lot of sense if you had an ape that was no one's gonna be up looking in the trees for an animal that big, especially here in America. But yeah, that would make a lot of sense, like how they use. And also, credit to the Bigfoot suit actor. That dude, they put him in some dangerous situations, and yeah, I hope he got paid. Also, real quick, because he's gonna show up a lot in this list, and not to mention, he's in a lot of these movies. Why is Lance Henriksen in so many Bigfoot movies? I don't understand. He is in at least 9. I am pretty sure he's in at least 9 or 10 Bigfoot movies, in one capacity or another, even in so much as a cameo. I don't know why Lance... if you're gonna have a Bigfoot movie, I guess you need to have, by law, Lance Henriksen at least make a cameo. Yeah. Anyway, so, next up, we have, Wild Men at number 8. Wild Men is more horror comedy than anything else, mostly because again, it's a different take on a Bigfoot series. Here, it's making fun of the Finding Bigfoot TV series. Like, it is straight up making fun of them. You know, a primatologist guy and a big dude who is, you know, has to pretend to be Bigfoot, and they basically make fun of them the whole time because, you know, finding Bigfoot's a crock. You know, that TV show is a crock of shit. Let's be real. While I do believe, you know, I do have my thoughts on, you know, Bigfoot and all of that. The reason why we haven't been able to, you know, there's a whole thing about cryptozoology that we will get into in another time. But I will say, while looking for Bigfoot I have no problem with it. It's just like finding Bigfoot is just god awful. It's just a god awful show, because like you're never gonna if they found Bigfoot, because yeah, let me get into this tangent. If they ever found Bigfoot, do you ever think they would find it and post it on some random ass episode of some backwater show on the Animal Planet? No, it'd be like Wolf Blitzer would be like, Bigfoot's fucking real, guys. Holy shit, I just shit my pants. Yeah, it's not gonna be on some fucking, you know, some dude who looks like he's, you know, a trio of idiots who are like knocking trees against the wood and thinking every sound's Bigfoot. But whatever. Anyway, this movie takes a lot of credit for making fun of that series, and I also love the fact that like it also talks about, what if these jackoffs actually encountered Bigfoot? The answer will surprise you. Actually, it won't. You probably know what's going to happen. Anyway. So now we're going into another Bigfoot classic with number 7. Yep, number 7, we have Night of the Demon. Which, what is the demon? It's a fucking Bigfoot. And what does that Bigfoot do? He fucking kills people. This is known as one of the most notorious Bigfoot movies out there, but you're probably thinking, why is this movie so low on your list, Multi? Why do you, if you love Bigfoot so much, shouldn't Night of the Demon be higher on your list? It should. And for the longest time, I've always wanted to watch Night of the Demon, but, like, when I finally sat down and watched it, I was basically like, this is boring as hell, and apparently the reshoots were the reason why it's so gory, and thank God for that, because, like, there's nothing, gore, nothing, gore, nothing, Bigfoot rape, gore, nothing. That's kind of how it is. If you ever wanted to see Bigfoot's O-face, first off, what the fuck's wrong with you? Secondly, here's your movie. Also, if you want to see Bigfoot rip a guy's penis off, here's your movie. It's a good gore fest, but it's really there for the most part. It is kind of a slog to get through. Just, you know, like, you're better off just watching like a gore cut or something. Anyway, next up we have Abominable. Abominable is basically like, what if you had Rearview Mirror but a Bigfoot in it? It focuses on a man who was paralyzed in a hiking accident that killed his wife. Have like a little vacation with his assistant, and this sorority of girls in the neighboring house is being stalked and killed by a Bigfoot who looks like if Sweetums from the Muppets got coked out. That's the best way to describe it. Like, there's some fun gore. I actually, like, it's a goofy movie. And again, Lance Henriksen in this movie. And with Jeffrey Combs, too. It's a stupid movie. It's sci-fi. It's sci-fi level. And like I said, the Bigfoot, when you finally see the Bigfoot in this film, you're gonna either laugh or go, oh, that took me out of this. Or a combination of both. But I personally find it as a fun adventure, fun little adventure. But yeah, that's just me. Now we're coming into the top 5. Yep, we're now in the top 5. And next at number 5, we have Primal Rage. Not the video game, the movie, which is not based off a video game. Primal Rage is about a young couple who, after the husband's been let out of prison, they have a car accident, and now they're forced to wander the forest and also encounter a type of Bigfoot that is hunting them. This Bigfoot's a lot different in that they kind of treat it like the Predator. This Bigfoot is more like intelligent. He's using like wooden stealth armor. He's using bow and arrows. Yeah. There's a great scene, and this is where I think my real love from it comes from, where a group of poachers are being just offed in the most gory way possible by the Sasquatch, who apparently, according in the movie, is like gone insane from the disrespect humans have put on Mother Nature. So now it's like gone. It's like gone full. This Bigfoot is like, you know, Big Rambo and proceeding to just first blood everyone's ass. It's a dumb movie. A majority of these movies are fucking stupid. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's a fun one, especially the scene where you watch the Bigfoot become Predator. So there you go. Next up, we have at number 4, The Legend of Boggy Creek. If you know your Bigfoot movies, did you really think this wasn't going to be part of the list? Did you really think it wasn't, right? Legend of Boggy Creek is like the quintessential Bigfoot movie. It is a film that is like, if you ever talk about a Bigfoot movie, Legend of Boggy Creek is one of them. Much like Sasquatch, which came out roughly the same time, I think. It's a docudrama series focusing on the Falk monster. There's a lot of great atmosphere, but also some weird dialogue stuff, and also the movie starts and stops a lot. Like, there are whole scenes where it's like, why did I have to watch a person, you know, folding laundry when nothing happens? But when stuff does happen, it's actually pretty exciting, especially with the Bigfoot laying siege of the house. It's a good movie. Return to Boggy Creek can go eat a dick, but Legend of Boggy Creek's at least something you should, if you're a Bigfoot enthusiast, it should at least watch once. Alright, now we're in the top 3. And at number 3, we have Big Legend, what I also call my penis. I'm sorry, that was dumb. Big Legend is a film focusing on a hunter who was traumatized after he saw Bigfoot kill his girlfriend, and the next year, after being, you know, coming out of a mental hospital, he is now sworn to hunt to figure out if it was really Bigfoot or if it was his own mental trauma. He also encounters a conspiracy theorist who's been also hunting Bigfoot, and the two of them go on a hunt together for the monster. This movie's very atmospheric. I gotta give this a lot of credit. You can find this one on YouTube. This is a very it's more on atmosphere and the dread of Bigfoot's here. Don't worry, it's not like, oh, he's crazy. No, Bigfoot's here, and it's a very dark setting, and everywhere you look, like, you don't know if he's gonna show up or not. And if he, and even when you don't see the Bigfoot, you really do feel like this presence around, and it's just dread. It's really only 2 guys in the forest, and the 2 actors, by God, they carry this movie. This also has Lance Henriksen in it. God, what is it with is Lance Henriksen a big Bigfoot fan? I don't know why he's in like 8, 9, 10 Bigfoot movies. Can someone please explain to me? Not that I'm complaining, I love Lance Henriksen, but I'm just trying to figure out why the fuck is he in so many Bigfoot movies? Also, Adria Barbeau's here in a quick cameo role too, which is always cool. Anyway, so now, when we get number 2, this is going to be hard to explain. Not because of the movie. I can give you an example. I can tell you about the movie, but I cannot for the life of me remember the title, and I can't find it anywhere because I can't remember the fucking title. And I've looked high and low, and I'm a part of me is almost convinced that maybe this movie doesn't exist, but maybe you guys have seen it, or maybe can help me find it. I literally can't remember the title of this movie, but let me explain this film. So it is another found footage movie. It is a found footage movie, and it's funny because my number 1 is also a found footage movie. We'll get to that one in a moment. This movie takes place in, I believe, somewhere in in the California area, and essentially what happens is on this reporter and his news crew who are just kind of doing like a puff piece when suddenly a hunter comes like barreling into the street screaming his son has been killed by a monster. So the townspeople rally a posse to go out and kill what they think is a bear. And the reporter and his cameraman and his camera crew go with him to get a recording. Maybe this is something that'll make him bigger. You know, hello Pulitzer. You know, that whole spiel. And And then Bigfoot shows up and just starts fucking murdering all of them. It's a really good movie. I cannot remember the title of it. I've seen it like twice. Or I think I did, yeah. And it's such a good found footage movie. I love, again, it's a big body count. It's also a really good Bigfoot suit, too. But I cannot for the life of me remember that movie. I swear it's real. I just can't fucking find it anywhere. So, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, please let me know in the comments below. That's so weird. My number 2 is a movie I can't fucking remember the title of. Now we come to number 1, which is also a found footage movie, and what I consider, and again, this is just my personal opinion, keep that in mind, in my personal opinion, the best Bigfoot movie. I think this is the best one, but again, that's that's up for interpretation. Everyone's favorite movie is up for interpretation. My favorite Bigfoot movie, and what I think is the best Bigfoot movie ever put to film, is Exists. Exist is, again, a found footage movie, and this actually has some caliber to it, because this is actually created by one of the co-creators of Blair Witch. Don't worry, you see Bigfoot. Before anyone makes that joke. The movie centers around a group of friends who are going to a cabin in the woods, always a great idea, in East Texas. Also a great idea, I say sarcastically. This film takes place in rural East Texas, and after accidentally killing a baby Bigfoot, the group is hunted by the parent relentlessly. This is a great film. This is a great I would even say it's one of the best found footage films I've ever seen in my life. It's got great atmosphere, great use of Bigfoot, and when not to use Bigfoot, and when not to see, and when to see the monster. The characters are all right. For the most part, they're just kind of there. There's no great if we had the characters from Big Legend in here, if we had that kind of same storytelling, this had been like 100% perfect. But as it stands, they're just kind of there for cannon fodder and to scare the shit out of. Also, this movie doesn't have this movie does though have a severe lack of Lance Henriksen, which I consider a bit of a pullback, but I'll forgive it. Anyway, this movie is brutal, it's violent, it's got all the elements of the other 9 films. Like, it's got elements of Night of the Demon, Big Legend, the other films. Like, there's pieces of the other 9 films that I mentioned, like Primal Rage, all of that, in this one film. Like, there's teensy bits and pieces here and there of the, and makes arguably the best Bigfoot film, and one of the best found footage films I've ever seen. But that's just me. So there you go, guys. Just from out of the blue, my top 10 favorite Bigfoot movies. You guys tell me in the comments below, what are your top 10 favorite Bigfoot movies? Just comment below, let me know. I'm curious how well this will go over. Oh boy. Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in Multiverse.